Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking in HD. It's Bart, and today I've made for you something that's really luxurious, and I'm quite proud of it actually. It's a broiled Atlantic lobster tail, and I'm serving it with baby bok choy and some pickled radishes and a little bit of creamy risotto. What's interesting about this is that I'm actually preparing this as a holiday meal. I know that we all like our turkey and the regular trimmings, but I think this is a nice alternative if you want to make a fancy feast for someone that you really care about. You can make something like this. We've gotten some nice pinkish red color on the broiled lobster tail, which is served sort of steakhouse style. And I've actually served it with some baby bok choy with some pickled radishes that I've given a really nice thin slice to, and that sort of takes the heat off the radishes a little bit, and I think adds nice color and presentation to this. And for our starch, instead of what I would consider to be typical for this type of dish, which would be a baked potato, I'm serving it with a very creamy risotto, which I think is really appropriate for this this meal. In that it captures, I think, some of the more luxurious elements of cooking without going to the standby standards of potato and maybe a Caesar salad of some sort. So I hope you enjoy this, and if you like what you see, go to cookinginhd.com and just do a search for lobster tail and you can get this recipe. I hope you enjoy. Cheers. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you how to get the lobster ready so it's resting nicely on top of the shell. And I don't know what this is called. I call it like Steakhouse-Style, which is how I've had it served at steakhouses. And you pull the lobster out through the top of the shell, and it rests nicely on top, and then we broil it from the top. So what you need to do is get a super sharp pair of scissors like this, okay, and then just bring the scissors and literally cut down the middle, okay? And this is a really hard shell. These are Atlantic lobsters, so you want to cut them to about here, there, okay? No further. Don't cut into this last piece. Then what you want to do is flip them over, and wherever there's like a little foot here, you want to cut through. And you're doing this because they have this, like, I don't know what this is, what it's called, but it's really hard. So by cutting it, you're allowing the lobster to open up from the front a little bit easier. So we'll do this side. Over here, and there, and there, and there. Okay, now when I flip it over, watch what happens. I just put my fingers underneath and inside, and the tail comes right out through the top. Okay, and by the way, this you don't want. This is like an intestine or gut, whatever it is. Pull it out. Okay, don't want that there. Okay, and so pull this all the way through, and then put it back down and let it rest on top of the lobster, like so. Easy. Okay, so now I have all 4 of my lobster tails resting nicely on top of the shell that they came in, and I'll give you a view from this side. It's hard to see, but the shell is actually empty inside. Nothing in there. The tail is actually resting on top. So now we'll smother it with some butter. We'll take my handy Home Depot paintbrush, that by the way is only used for cooking, and we'll put some butter on top of these, and maybe just a pinch of paprika powder, salt and pepper on top. Okay guys, so here is my clarified butter, and here is my paintbrush that I use for cooking. I'll just spread some butter on each of these lobster tails, like so. It'll help them brown nicely, and give them a nice buttery flavor. And then last step is just a dash of paprika powder on top. Now, this paprika powder is not spicy. It's literally just dried peppers that have been ground up. And I think they'll just add a really nice flavor and a little bit of color on top. I'll give you a close-up view in just a minute. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. There you go. Okay, so these are now ready to go under the broiler for about 4 to 7 minutes, no more than that for sure. And I'll just have to keep an eye out, and as soon as I see them getting a little bit of golden brown on top, we'll take them out. All right, so the lobster tails are now on a cookie sheet, which has a cooling rack on top of it, just so that we get nice air circulation. I've got my broiler on, and it's now going in the oven underneath the broiler. And you can see, there it is right there. It's a natural gas broiler, so, I mean, it gets super hot. It's almost nuclear. I mean, it's ridiculous. But, okay, so we're gonna close this up and check on it in a few minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's have a look. Oh, I like that. Those are nice and golden brown on top. Let's take those out. I'll give you a close-up view in just a second. Okay, here they are. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, these are done. I don't think I want them to go any longer than that because I don't want to overcook them. That would certainly defeat the purpose of delicious, moist lobster. And ladies and gentlemen, there is the final product. I've got my broiled lobster tail with a little bit of paprika powder and a nice slathering of butter on top. I'm serving it with a little bit of my baby bok choy and some pickled radishes for a nice contrasting red flavor. And then over in the corner, I've got a little bit of just a dollop of risotto, which I think will be a nice starch addition for this dish. I'm really pleased with how that came out, and I think you'll agree with me that the presentation of the lobster tail sitting on top of its shell is just a really, really handsome way to display this dish. So I hope you enjoyed this dish. If you like what you see, you can go to cookinginhd.com and you can get the complete recipe for how to broil this Atlantic lobster tail and serve it with a really nice and colorful complement of baby bok choy and pickled radishes. I hope you enjoy. See you next time on Cooking in HD.